All right, here for round 4. Playing against Corey Burkhart. Should be fun. Currently 2-1. Hand looks decent. And we're in there. If I had to guess, I would say that he's playing green-white just because Corey's a spiky dude. I'm not sure what he's testing for, but, you know. There's Pittsburgh in a couple weeks. And our hand is pretty good against green-white, although it is a little slow. A lot of ETB tap lands, which seems to be a recurring issue. Could guess read the bones, but then we have to discard. It could jam tracker, but then it could die to a Dramoka's command. But if that happens, then they get Thopters, which we can languish away, which is not the worst. Would love to be able to play Kalidas and take out Hangerback Walker in the same turn, but that's a little far off, so I'm just going to jam tracker. So he's just going to tick up Hangerback and command the tracker, I think. No Gideon, no Nissa is pretty nice for me, for sure. So I guess his hand could just be like removal spells and Avacins. So may want to save an ultimate price for an Avacyn. Petition is fine. Can't languish this turn. Don't really want to grasp the Hangerback. Although I could do a thing where I like grasp the Hangerback and languish. But I think I just want to read the bones this turn. Don't really want Advocate. Do want land. Advocate's not bad, though. Transgress is fine. So the thing I've not liked about this deck the most is how I'm not able to use 2 spells in one turn all that often. But this turn we actually get to do that because we drew a tracker. And basically, like, even the turns where you do get to use 2 spells, it's, like, always pretty awkward because, like, this turn I could have played, like, Transgress and Ultimate Price, but then I just have, like, this mana that goes unspent, you know? And it's just not great. Not great at all. So if we draw a land, we can play Kalidas and grasp the Hangerback, assuming he attacks, which I think he will. But we'll see. Plant Nissa, sure. Maybe putting Hangerback out of Languish and Grasp range is a good idea, like not attacking this turn. Also gives you another thing to protect Nissa with. So if I draw an untapped land, that's great. If I don't, I may need to petition for like Silumgar's command. Maybe like petition Transgress. Okay, well, just killing my tracker, fine. Now he's got a 5/5. Now we're in a bad spot. So we can petition for Silumgar's command, Transgress, next turn. Bounce Hangerback, destroy Nissa. This deck is just clunky. Just a clunker. Guess I could petition for Silumgar, but that requires me drawing a land, so not going to do that. So Advocate's still in hands. Draws a 6 land. It's going to be real bad. Basically hoping that he doesn't minus the Nissa, because then I'm in trouble. Yep. If I draw a land, I can play Kalitas and Price. Oh, tilt. Tilt, tilt, tilt. So I can play Advocate and have Price, but if he just minuses the Nissa, I'm just dead. So we will give Corey 0 credit whatsoever. Just assume that he won't see the play where he makes 2 lethal threats and I can't win. Yep. Corey's too smart for that. Alright, same deal. Plagues. Silumgar's Command, Out of Languish. Read the Bones are reasonable on the play. Probably want the Duresses, but maybe want to just keep in the Transgresses. Don't know what I'm supposed to cut. Can only have so many discard spells. Maybe I only want to read the bones. How did I sideboard last time? I don't even know. Maybe the grasps aren't good. Take out 1 grasp? Sure. I think on the play, you just want to focus on assembling a board position with creatures, and then on the draw, maybe you just want more things like Transgress to interact. Like, you're going to want to be able to take their Planeswalkers because they're going to be able to assemble a decent board position before you actually get to assemble your own board position. So just like having clean answers might just be better on the draw. And we have 2 Advocates. The Miser's Languish. Super short on lands with a bunch of expensive stuff, but I don't know. I think this is better than going to 6. Like, 2 Advocates might just be good. I assume he's going to have a bunch of stones, too, which could either be good for me or bad for me, because if he's, I don't know. I guess if he stones 2 Advocates, like, then I just have a bunch of clues, which is probably fine. Helps me hit my land drops. Corey picks up his own Advocate. We have an ultimate Price. So basically just want to draw lands from now until the rest of the game. That is my hope. Battlefield Forge? Where'd that come from? I don't know if I want to price this or not. Read the Bones is a good draw if I hit my next land untapped. Then I can use that to find more lands. So I could just price this Advocate, or I could, you know, keep their Advocate at bay with my Advocate, use price to take out something like Avacyn. And if he does something like play Nissa this turn, I can kill Advocate and actually just pressure. So we're both Advocate flooded. Land? Nope. Tilt. Oh, this is bad. We're going to get either Gideon or Declarated. And I can't beat this Gideon. Can't really beat the Stone either. He's going to be able to play Stone and... Ugh. Stone and another Advocate, and then I'm like pretty dead. God, this is bad. Even just like Gideon Emblem just messes me up really badly. But I think if I just let him get stoned, I'm so far behind that I can't win anymore. So, yep, just not having lands makes it very difficult for you to win when playing a bunch of expensive stuff. Took a point from his Battlefield Forge when he didn't have to because he has Oath of Nissa. But alright, so get to read some bones. Ugh. Evolving Wilds. Kind of need the wilds for blue, but I honestly can't even really afford an ETB tap land, I think. So just don't hit a land at all instead. Corey says he's a greedy monster. I don't necessarily disagree. But I did just bottom an Evolving Wilds off of Read the Bones when I mana screwed, so who's the greedy monster now? It is at least one of us. That is certainly true. So this is tough. Basically with this deck, there's not a ton of coming back from behind. When you're at parity, you have a lot of good ways to get ahead, but there are not a lot of great ways to come back from behind. Alright, so we have the Languish. He didn't even deploy the other Advocate, which is really smart. And yeah, next turn he's going to have a bunch of 4/5s that I can't really deal with, so I kind of just need to Languish away all this stuff anyway. And the next turn, I'm going to take a hit for 5. Next turn, play Nissa, price their Advocate. Take another hit for 5, down to 3. And kind of just be in really bad shape. But in the meantime, we'll try and get a hit in on this Gideon. It's not going to work. I think he's just single block, double blocks, but just chumps with a Night Ally. Okay, that's interesting. I would probably switch up that double block. I guess it's kind of the same thing. Either way, I'm going to kill the knight. Probably should have not played my 4th land before attacking here, but I think this is a pretty obvious desperation attack where I have a Languish, but I do think it's pretty normal for these black decks to just focus on getting on the board instead of keeping it Languish against green-white, because Languish is just pretty bad most of the time. I guess alternatively, if I draw a 5th land that is untapped, I could just petition for Ruinous Path. And then I have to contend with a 4/5 Advocate, but then I can like Nissa Ultimate Price on the next turn. So, we'll see. I am pretty dead, but there is a shot. I do have a shot. So many game trails. Oh no, not more spells. I can't beat more spells. Morph? How am I supposed to beat a Morph? Well, did not draw the land. Would have died if I petitioned Ruinous Path to Gideon. And I'm actually just going to die this turn too. So, doesn't really matter all that much. So, kind of just got annihilated by green-white. But tough to win when you don't play lands, but your deck should also be able to have like some sort of a chance, even if you're behind. And in this case, I basically had no chance. So I really don't like having a matchup where, you know, you're supposed to be good against the best deck, but at the same time, like if you fall behind at all, you are just very dead. So my hopes of Sultai being the green-white killer are not great, but good games, Corey. I appreciate the firm beatdown, and I'll see you at GP Pittsburgh, I guess.